Alright, y'all, we're back with another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero news update, and we have a lot of things to talk about today in regards to cut content. Data miners the past week have found a lot of interesting things, I feel, that I've compiled here today. I waited a little bit to cover this just so we could make sure that I have as much information in one video as possible. But in the future, if there's anything else that comes out, I will be doing subsequent updates. So feel free to go ahead and keep a lookout there. Do a little subscription if you want to. Continuing on from there, of course, we have first and foremost the Bojack movie Gohan, and he's just in the game files right there, right? You can see the costume for the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was already applied, and I believe it's already a mod that's available online for the PC version of the game, of course. And man, he looks absolutely fantastic. It is crazy though that he's in there, but he's not actually usable for whatever reason. Because if you actually go into the unmodded version of the game, you'll see that there's no costumes available for that Teen Gohan. I do think this will release in the future. A lot of people though are really worried that this will end up being paid DLC. We don't know why it's in the files and why it's not being used, but I would not jump to conclusions that costumes will be paid DLC. As of now, the only DLC packs that are announced are for characters. So while possible that, like, let's say we get a superhero pack and then this Bojack movie Gohan is with that superhero pack, when it releases in Q1 of 2025, that's not necessarily the case. I assume the game will have plenty of free updates. There could even be free updates that release with the DLC packs, just like Xenoverse 2 does. And I think they may try to follow that model of Xenoverse 2 and supporting the game for many, many years down the timeline. Because, Sparking Zero is one of the biggest Dragon Ball games just of all time, 100%. So if you think they're going to drop this game like that, there's no way. Either way, I think it looks pretty cool, so hopefully we get costumes like this in the future, because one of the major complaints of a lot of people are costumes. End of Z Goku, the Bojack movie Trunks, Bad Man Vegeta, like some of the really popular ones there I just named. We'll see in the future though. Again, I hope we will get free updates for those costumes. That would be very, very nice, right? Next, we have the potential for NPC character, and that is Belmont right here. So we take a look at this character icon, and a lot of people are actually like, whoa, this looks like a playable character icon. Is Belmont gonna be playable? And I completely get that, and you may be watching this and thought, oh, Belmont was playable, because a lot of people were talking about it. Turns out, he might just be an NPC. Saitsu MD, which is one of the people who make mods for Sparking Zero, and I believe he did a couple of cool stuff, right? He's making the story mode spoiler character available, which is really cool. But essentially, Belmont is in the ID range of 8,000 to 9,000, which is strictly NPC character. No playable characters have gone there, so I will just trust him. He's been posting a lot of stuff regarding this, and he's been looking into the files. Put that in mind. That means Belmont is not going to be playable, but likely a guest character, potentially in custom battle, right? You could have a lot of guest characters in custom battle available. So sure, I think we'll take it. I would say this doesn't mean that he's not potentially available to become playable in the future, considering that he does have an icon. It's more possible than not, but we don't know really for sure. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I wanted to talk about this though because I think it could be important, because it could show the expansion of how far this game is actually willing to go. Next, we have something that I think will make a lot of people, disappointed, unfortunately, and that is for Blue Evolution and Blue Kaioken. It looks like at one point they were planned to potentially be transformations, not Blast 1 abilities. And the reason why we know this is because if you take a look at these icons on the screen with these circles around the Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Vegeta, they look like transformation icons where, let's say you transform into Super Saiyan with Mid Goku, that's just how this icon would look. Because of that, I think, it does kind of suck that they are not actual transformations and you do need to use your Blast 1 abilities for it. Kaioken, I more so get, but Blue Evolution Vegeta, at the bare minimum, he should have probably just been his own character, just like UI Sign Goku was. And I think one of the reasons why they ended up not making them, you know, a transformation is because there's not enough slots in there, right? You have Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan Blue, and maybe they felt like for Blue Evolution Vegeta, they didn't need to distinctly make him his own character, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Blue Evolution Vegeta should be his own character. Kaioken is closer to a power up than a new form, and I'm perfectly fine with him just being that time limited power up. It matches the anime, but Vegeta, I don't agree with that. But let me know what you guys are thinking here, whether or not you agree with this decision that's made by them or not. One extra thing, talking about like kind of, I guess, more Super Saiyan Blue, sure, or character models. We do have this image of Vegeta Blue, which looks quite distinctly different from how he actually looks like in the game. And this is just found in the files. I don't know exactly what this was intended for, what this is, right? But there are speculations that the game maybe could have potentially been like a Yamamuro style rather than Shintani from Dragon Ball Super Broly. Just wanted to point that out, right, with this and how it looks like. Definitely looks closer to the Yamamuro style, but I would definitely prefer how they went with the Shintani style. That's just me, myself, though. Maybe someone out there does prefer this kind of style of Vegeta Blue and how he looks, but there that is. Next, we have DP values. So it looks like each DP value has its own nerfs / buffs applied in Sparking Zero. This is just stuff we already knew for the most part, but now we have the exact numbers. So we can see DP1 characters have a 0.35 damage skill, but they have a 5 cooldown right there. And I guess that's only applicable to Hercule, but we go all the way up to DP10. We see while they have a 1.3 damage scale, they end up having a character cooldown of 43. So it seems like the higher DP you are, the more longer you have to wait to actually change your characters compared to the lower DP you are, which I kind of like that because lower DP characters would also just have lower health in general. So you have more flexibility to switch your characters around, recover HP, compared to the higher DP character that will have more health, that will be able to just be stronger in general, do more damage. So let me know what you guys are thinking about the DP system just in general in terms of ranked matches. Even I like the DP system a lot. I think that it has been functioning quite well for the most part. Maybe some of these high DP characters shouldn't have after image strike, but that's a whole other discussion. Now, the final thing I want to talk about here is this potential for characters in the future that someone ended up posting on Blue Sky. This was posted by Mondo Mega. And what's going on is they posted a list of characters that they stated were going to be content cut from the base game, and they compiled them with character IDs. Looking at it, this has Supreme Kai, Pikkon, all these OG Dragon Ball characters, Champa, Vados, Lavender, and Basil, right? It all looks very exciting. And I saw a lot of people talking about it because there's the possibility of Super 17 that they mentioned as well. But before we continue with the specifics, I do want to say multiple people who are trustworthy with their sources and, look into the game files for past previous games such as Sergio M3 did confirm that they looked through every possible place where there are text files on the PC game, word for word. They couldn't find any other instance of these names like Vados and Pasha. In the end, to him, it is inconclusive and unlikely means anything relevant because while the IDs are there, they're just information found in just some place in the game. So I'm not gonna also say that that really means anything because there's something that links you to thinking, oh, this is DLC that's coming for sure. It is taking that information and being like, oh, these names are technically in the game, so they will be playable characters or DLC. And I would also agree that that doesn't 100% mean the case, but it is a fact that it is there. So at the very least, the devs we're thinking about these characters potentially. I mean, we could see Supreme Kai, Pikkon, all the OG Dragon Ball characters. I think Supreme Kai, I've seen a lot of people actually talking about them wanting him playable because he was playable in PT3. PyCon, I think, is a pretty popular filler character. I mean, me personally, Demon King Piccolo would be awesome, but the list will be just shown on the screen with a bunch of these different characters here. Now, Mondo Mega also did mention that they saw evidence of Great Ape Goku, Super Saiyan 1 Caulifla were scrapped as transformations, and then as well as the base forms for Garlic Jr., Frost, Ribrianne, Kakuta, and Rosie, because those characters specifically are being treated internally as first transformations rather than their base form. I can't really confirm 100% if this is true or not because, again, I'm not a data miner, but if that is the case, that means maybe in the future we can get some kind of tournament of power DLC, would be really nice. Maybe they fix the mistake they made with Blue Evolution Vegeta and actually make him a separate character. That'd be cool as well. But one thing I do want to say that gives potential extra credibility to this is the Super 17 League specifically, which it seemed like Super 17 Mono Mega stated was an alternate form with Kibuto Kai, Great Man 2 under existing characters like Android 17 and Videl. The voice actor for 17 quoted this statement, and they didn't really say anything, but he kind of like just, I think it was just 3 like dots or something like that. I feel like it's just weird for him to publicly respond to that way. I don't think it means anything 100%, but I'm just gonna throw it out there, let you guys decide what you think about it. I personally don't have any thoughts on it specifically, but who knows, right? I mean, Super 17 being the missing character of GT, I think makes me believe he will 100% be DLC in the future anyways, so that could be literally not even applicable to this list anyways. That doesn't even necessarily include them. But let me know what you guys are thinking about all this new information in terms of Sparking Zero. What thing you're most excited for? Personally, in terms of this, I guess the only thing we know for sure is that BoJack movie Gohan outfit, so I'm gonna say that's what I'm looking forward to the most out of all these things shown. But thanks y'all for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.